New crystal weapons are now live in Albion Online, and one of those things is the Arctic Staff. The Arctic Staff is a new Frost Staff weapon, which I think one of the coolest, although most awkward skill in the game. Look at this. That looks absolutely phenomenal, and this is going to be used for probably small scale rather than ZVZ, but I can see it in ZVZs. But that's not going to stop us from trying it out in Corrupted Dungeons. So let's run through the build. It's a pretty typical build, I would say. This is the Arctic Staff. For the first skill, you want to use your Frostbite. Frostbite deals damage, increases your damage over 4 seconds by 4%, and stacks up to 3 times. This is the equivalent of the Q3 of the Fire Staff. Stacks up to 3 times, increases your damage up to 12%. Mostly that's going to be your sort of like poke damage. And speaking of poke damage, the skill that you want to use on this one is the Frost Lance on the W ability. This is one of the rangiest skills in the game, dealing 574 damage, decreases their damage resistance by 37 for 3 seconds. This is how far it goes. It actually is really far. Super low cooldown as well. No food here at 8 seconds. So this is a little bit tricky to actually aim, but you'll get used to it. Super long range, super good damage. And the star of the show is the Arctic Valley. This is the new skill. Fires a volley of icicles, as you saw, in a targeted direction every 0.4 seconds while channeling up to 2.2 seconds. And you can move while channeling, and it deals damage every volley. It is AoE in this one. It does use 11 energy every volley fired. It has an energy cost of 29 to activate it. It has 18 meter range and 20 seconds cooldown. So this is how it looks like. Boom, you can move. But as you probably notice, you cannot change the direction of your volley shots. So you have to be very mindful where you actually aim your first E so that you can actually hit your enemies. So just like this, you hit it like that. You can aim it here and move to the side, alright? And can change technically where each of your volley hits, but it's different from the old rotation mechanic that the one-hand fire staff has. It actually deals okay damage. It deals 348 per. Look at that. It is AoE and it fires up to 6 shots. So it's good. That is before resistance though, the 348. It does cost 11 energy per volley and you can still move. Let's count it. Let's count it this time. How many can you actually deal? So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 6. Now, in situations when you're fighting, this is like a very unique part of Albion Online. When you are channeling and you're actually taking damage, your channel time actually gets reduced. So let's say you are using the Cultist Robe. Use the Cultist Robe, it's supposed to heal you every second, but you keep on taking damage, your cast or channel time will actually be less. And this is the same for this as well. If you are taking damage, you are going to volley less. Maybe just like 1 less. So it's not the end of the world. You do have to worry about getting reflected for this one. This is cool and all. This is very powerful. It's AoE, but in Corrupted Dungeons, obviously single target. But if you do see a reflect, you can actually just stop. You can cancel the channel altogether, which is pretty cool. Because the good thing about this is while you're channeling, it actually starts cooling down. So that is your volley skill. Really powerful. Really fun to use, actually. And you are going to use your Furious passive for this one. Every 5 spellcasts increases your damage by an additional 10% for 4 seconds. Remember, this increases your damage as well by 12% for 4 seconds. And this shreds the resistance. So it actually works all together. For your armor set, this is like the typical one. You got your Hunter Hood with Retaliate, increases your damage resistance, and reflex 85% of your damage coming to you. And you're going to use the Balanced Mind. For the Cleric Robe, this hard counters reflex. This skill, if you get reflected fully on this, it hurts. As a mage, it just absolutely hurts. Now, most of the time when you do see that reflect, you can just cancel your skill, but I still like to pair it with the Everlasting Spirit. Everlasting Spirit, once you activate it and you take damage, you will be immune for the next 3 seconds. Increases your damage as well by 20%. It does use 20% of your energy, and we're going to get to that. You pop that. Once you have it on, you just E this. And for the entire duration of your cast, you are not going to take damage. You increase your damage by 20%. And then boom. It works perfectly with your E. And counters reflect as well. On your boots, you just use any plate boots. I do prefer the Guardian boots because I can swap to Giant whenever it's possible, whenever it's necessary, but most of the time you are going to go with your Rejuvenating Sprint and your second passive. First passive on this one, forgot. Okay, so this is where Limher's Cape comes in. On the Cleric Robe, you use 20% of your energy. On this one, you use 66 of your energy, 66 base. And if we actually calculate that, 66 just for the volley, 29 for the initial cost, you divide it by your current right now, it's 30%. 30% for your E. Like, your E consumes 30% of your energy, which is wild. That's why you have your energy reserve. It activates when you cast a spell below 40%. It restores 80% over 9 seconds. Your R and E alone, takes out 50% of your energy. So you do need the Limher's Cape on this one. For your food, I default to Remy, which we call Remy Pure Mist Snapper. Increases your health, gives you lifesteal as well, works perfectly with your E, with your Q, with your W. It just gives you more health, basically. Look at that. Per hit, can give you up to freaking 45. So it does actually deal a lot of damage. It's pretty good. So you go with your Pyramid Snapper. If it's too expensive for you, it is at 61k. It's getting ridiculous by the day. If it's too expensive for you, I can probably go with, I want to say, a beef sandwich. Just for the health, you are very squishy in this one. Even if you have this, you are still very, very squishy. So beef sandwich as an alternative, or you can go with the Dussel Crab Omelette and switch this to a Mart Block Cape. So that's like an alternative. For your healing potions, it's a typical one. Your healing potion and a pocket swap for your Gigantify potion as well. Use your Gigantify potion usually when they have like a lot of reflex, but if they don't, is swap to your healing potions. And that's basically the entire build. This is like really, really fun. And again, it's not really meant for Corrupted Dungeons. I just gave it a shot. It was actually pretty fun. If you are feeling a little bit adventurous today, maybe give this a shot. You go Q, W, W and Q, and then into an E. This looks very, very cool. And I suggest you give it a shot. I had fun using this weapon, and I hope you do too. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Or better yet, join us live on Twitch at twitch.tv/Burnstone. Dude, I want to lose to this guy so bad. I want to lose to this guy so bad, bro. You don't even know. Oh no! Oh my god. I'm trolling. I'm trolling! So hard! Ah! Would have been so cool. Oh! Huh? It was better to be lucky than good, bro. I actually switched to root. Aha! Almost died there. That's it? Oh my god, I missed. GG. Whoop-ow! GG. Wow! Wow! Yeah!